I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Man Up with Mark. You may agree with him, and again, you may not.
I thought I had it all figured out when I was young, career-wise, that is. As a little kid, in grade school, I never was one of those kids that wanted to be a fireman, or a policeman, or an astronaut.
I want to be a princess.
I want to be a spy.
I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't even think about it. By the time I got into high school and finished that up, and I was just about going to marry my first wife, which I talked about in yesterday's episode, I had it in my head that I was going to be an FBI agent.
I'm with the FBI.
Yeah, my dad was an FBI agent, so why not me? Hadn't really thought about anything else. Did lots of things when I was young, through school, did this and that, but nothing ever stuck with me. So I thought to myself, you know what? If Dad can be an FBI agent, so can I. So I went to find out what it all takes. And I found out that, you had to pass all of these background checks. And you had to take all of these tests. And you had to go to college. You had to have a college degree. You had to work for the Bureau in the Washington, D.C. area for 4 years. I was doing all of this investigating and taking all of these tests. And at the time, my first wife and I were, plugging along, and she was supporting me to a point until I took my interviews, my oral interviews, and this and all that, and I passed all of my background checks, even though I was a punk when I was young.
Such a punk.
But I think having my father as an FBI agent helped a little bit. I got the notice one day that, you are going to be an FBI agent. We want to send you to Washington, D.C., and you're going to learn all this stuff and go to all of these places and go to college, and you're going to work in one of the FBI office buildings, and, what would you like to be? Would you like to work for this or that? And ballistics came up, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I might want to do that. And I was getting all involved in that, getting really excited, until my wife said, I don't want to go there. I don't want to live in Washington, D.C. I don't want to move away from home. What the fuck you thinking about? What are you doing? So that just fell to shit.
Shit happens.
Didn't make my dad very happy after all of the stuff we went through. But shit happens.
Shit happens.
After that, like I said in yesterday's video, I hip-hopped around from this job to that job, from this skill to that skill, and kind of got to the point where I was getting more interested and more involved in drawing, illustrating, cartoons. I was always a pretty good artist. In high school and all that, I did a lot of good stuff. But it was all hobby stuff off to the side. After a little bit of convincing from my oldest brother and his wife, they said, hey, you've got some talent and you could probably get into a school here in the California area. Talked to my wife at the time, and she says, well, that's an idea. Let's look into that. So we did. Over time, and it took a while, we looked into it. Sent applications to different schools and showed my portfolio to different places, and nothing really happened until, a few years into it. All of a sudden, I got accepted to go to at the time, I don't know if it still exists or not, but at the time I got accepted to go into the Walt Disney School of Animation.
I'm going to Disneyland. Yeah!
I thought that was pretty fucking cool. But, again, we would have to move to L.A., and that was not a deal for the wife. Nope, that wasn't it. That wasn't going to happen. And, of course, we had issues with that and talked about it and said, well, didn't you realize that I'd have to go somewhere to get this schooling? And I think she had it in her mind that I was never going to get accepted to any of these places anyways, so she wasn't really worried about it. Lo and behold, I did get accepted, and I thought, there you go, that's going to be my career. And then that got thrown in the trash. So, after those two items, and going through several different jobs, I ended up in the construction industry, and that's where I stayed. But for the most part, I have worked, whether it be this job or that job or the construction work that I've been in here recently, I've been working for 50 years now. 50 years of work. You can gain some different experiences over 50 years. I hope I can share those with you. Now I'm retired, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do with my time? That's constructive, that's meaningful, that would serve a purpose. Podcasting. I don't have to worry about going anywhere to do that. I can do it right here.
Stay.
In my Man Up Man Cave.
This is my man cave.
In my own house. So that's a cool thing. Now, the one thing with all of this work that I've done over the years, this career idea, that career idea, this job, that job.
Yeah, everywhere.
I still haven't figured what I want to be when I grow up. So maybe this podcasting will help. After we go through several episodes, I might figure out what I want to be. I know a couple of things. I'm a human. I'm a man.
A real man.
And I live on the planet Earth. So, please, like this podcast. Subscribe to it. Ring that bell. Also, please make some comments, suggestions. I'll take all sorts of different topic ideas and talk about them. They may be something that affects me. They might not be. They might be things that affect you. And I can talk about that. So, email me at mark@manupwithmark.com. Okay. Until tomorrow. See ya.
If you have a question or comment, email Mark at manupwithmark.com.